chosen one. Slow your breath and listen. This Sunday is not just another square on the calendar you flip past. It is a checkpoint, a pause built into time itself. You are not imagining the weight you feel pressing on your chest lately. You are not overthinking why your spirit feels alert even when your body is tired. Something is being asked of you, and it cannot be postponed much longer. You have been moving through life on autopilot more than you realize. Wake up, work, handle responsibilities, scroll, sleep, repeat. From the outside, everything looks functional. But inside, you sense a quiet disconnect, a feeling that you are slightly off-center, like a wheel that still turns but no longer runs smoothly. This Sunday arrives to realign, not to shame you, but to stop the drift before it becomes distance. Think about your job. You do what is required, maybe even more than required, yet lately you feel unseen or undervalued. You give effort, but your heart is not fully present anymore. Or think about your finances. You are managing, but always bracing, always calculating, always one unexpected expense away from stress. Or think about your family when you love them, but you have been carrying emotional weight silently, afraid that if you stop being strong, everything will wobble. These are not random life pressures. These are pressure points where heaven is knocking. Sunday is not coming to overwhelm you. It is coming to confront what you have normalized but were never meant to carry alone. Many people misunderstand moments like this. They think God only speaks when life falls apart, but often He speaks when life becomes numb. When you stop crying, stop dreaming, stop expecting, that is more dangerous than chaos. Chaos can drive you to prayer. Numbness convinces you that nothing will change anyway. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Read that slowly. Not rush, not strive harder, not prove yourself. Be still. Stillness here does not mean passivity. It means you stop wrestling for control long enough to let God step into the space you keep occupying with anxiety. Sunday invites you into that stillness, not for hours, but for honesty. Here is where real life meets faith. Being still might look like not responding immediately to that email that triggers fear. It might look like sitting down with your finances instead of avoiding the numbers. It might look like telling your family you are tired instead of pretending you are fine. Stillness is not inactivity. It is surrendering the illusion that everything depends on you. And here is the hope you need to hear clearly if God says He will fight for you. It means the battle you feel is real, but it is not yours alone. Some of you have been fighting silently at work, trying to maintain excellence while feeling replaceable. God sees that. Some of you have been fighting internally, smiling in public while questioning your direction in private. God sees that too. Stillness is not quitting. It is repositioning. Picture this ordinary but powerful shift. After Sunday, you walk into the same workplace, but you stop absorbing disrespect as normal. You speak calmly but firmly, or you decide to finally ask for clarity. Not out of desperation, but confidence. Or at home, you stop carrying every emotional burden by yourself and allow others to see the real you. These are not dramatic moves. They are aligned moves. And alignment changes outcomes quietly. Let me ask you something directly. And do not answer quickly. Where have you been fighting hardest instead of trusting deepest? Is it your career, where you believe rest will make you fall behind? Is it money, where you believe if you loosen control, everything will collapse? Is it relationships, where you fear that if you stop being the strong one, you will be abandoned? Sunday stands as a reminder the fight was never meant to consume you. This does not mean problems vanish overnight. It means you stop burning energy on battles God already offered to handle. The Lord fights for you when you stop insisting on winning alone. Hope looks like this: peace entering situations that used to spike your heart rate, clarity replacing mental fog, a sense of timing returning. You start making decisions without panic attached to them. That is not coincidence. That is alignment taking root. This Sunday is gentle, but it is serious. If you ignore it, life will continue, but heavier. If you honor it, life will still challenge you, but you will not feel alone inside the challenge. There is a difference between carrying responsibility and carrying fear. One builds maturity, the other drains life. Take this moment seriously, not emotionally, intentionally. Even 5 minutes of honest stillness can recalibrate weeks of confusion. If this message speaks to you like the video, share it with someone who has been fighting quietly. Leave a comment to mark this moment, and subscribe so you remain connected as this season unfolds. This is not about hype. It is about staying aligned. I leave you with one final question to carry into Sunday. Are you willing to be still long enough to let God fight for you? Comment 14 below as a sign that you choose stillness over struggle and trust over control. Before freedom ever arrived, the burden became heavier. Long before the sea split, before the songs of victory, before deliverance had a name, there was a moment when obedience seemed to make life worse. In the land of Egypt, the people of Israel were already enslaved, already exhausted, already surviving day by day. Then Moses appeared with a word from God. Hope entered the room, and almost immediately, Pharaoh responded by tightening the chains. Straw was removed, quotas stayed the same. The work doubled. What little breath they had left was taken from them. This is not a random detail in Scripture. This is a pattern. When God's intention to free you begins to move, resistance often intensifies before release manifests. Not because God failed, but because what holds you knows its time is limited. The people cried out, not against Pharaoh first, but against Moses. They said he had made their lives unbearable. They said obedience had cost them peace. They could not see the full picture yet. All they knew was this. They listened to God, and now things felt worse. You know this feeling. You decided to do the right thing at work, and suddenly the pressure increased. Expectations rose, criticism sharpened. You chose integrity, and it felt like punishment. Or you made a commitment to change your finances, stop overspending. Face your numbers, become disciplined, and suddenly unexpected expenses surfaced, as if resistance rose up to test your resolve. Or you set a boundary in a relationship, and instead of respect, you were met with silence, guilt, or anger. You thought obedience would bring relief, and instead, it brought friction. This is where many turn back. They conclude they misunderstood God. They assume resistance is a sign to retreat. But Scripture shows something different. Pressure does not always mean you are off course. Sometimes it means you are finally moving, as the ancient words are recorded in the book of Exodus, chapter 5, verse 23. Ever since I went to Pharaoh to speak in your name, he has brought trouble on this people, and you have not rescued your people at all. This cry came from Moses himself. Even the one called by God questioned the timing when the burden increased. Let that settle. Doubt in the middle of obedience does not disqualify you. It reveals your humanity. What matters is not that the question arose, but that the calling did not change. The Israelites could not yet see that Pharaoh's cruelty was a sign of fear, not power. When control senses an expiration date, it squeezes harder. When unhealthy systems feel threatened, they demand more with less. When a season knows it is ending, It drains you on the way out. This is not coincidence. This is exposure. Bring this into your daily life. Think about your workplace. When you start growing, when your competence increases, when your confidence stabilizes, sometimes management raises the bar without increasing support. They demand results without resources. That is Egypt behavior. Think about unhealthy relationships. When you stop overgiving, the other side may accuse you of changing. That is Pharaoh removing straw. Think about your inner habits. When you decide to stop numbing yourself, discomfort spikes. That is withdrawal before healing. Here is the hope hidden inside this tension. The increase of pressure is often proof that the exit is closer than you think. God did not abandon Israel in Exodus 5. He was positioning them. He was allowing the contrast between slavery and freedom to become unmistakable. If Pharaoh had softened, they might have settled. If things had improved slightly, they might have stayed. But God was not interested in partial relief. He was preparing them for complete departure. Ask yourself honestly, if your situation eased just a little, would you stop pressing forward? This is a difficult question, but an important one. Sometimes the heaviness exists not to crush you, but to make staying unbearable. God does not drag his people out. He leads them when they are ready to leave. Picture an everyday moment. You are driving home after a long day, hands tight on the steering wheel. You feel tired, irritated, questioning why you even started changing things. Then a quiet thought crosses your mind. I can't go back to how it was. That thought is not despair. It is clarity. That is the beginning of Exodus in the heart. This section is not here to glorify suffering. It is here to reframe it. Increased pressure does not mean God is absent. It often means God is dismantling what once controlled you. The bricks feel heavier because the system is cracking. The workload feels cruel because it was never meant to be humane. You are not weak for feeling tired. You are awakening. Hope looks like this endurance with vision. You stop personalizing the resistance. You stop blaming yourself for every obstacle. You recognize that this season is transitional, not terminal. You may still wake up tired, but you no longer feel trapped. You begin preparing instead of just surviving. The Israelites were still in Egypt in Exodus 5, but Egypt was already losing its grip. That matters. Freedom often begins internally before it ever becomes visible externally. So here is the question you must sit with quietly. Is the increased pressure you feel trying to stop you? Or is it revealing that you are closer to leaving than ever before? Do not rush to answer. Let it work on you. This section is not a call to act loudly. It is a call to understand deeply. What feels like opposition may actually be confirmation. What feels like delay may be alignment. And what feels unbearable may be the final sign that you were never meant to stay. There comes a point when repetition is no longer coincidence. It is instruction. Yet most people exhaust themselves trying to explain away what keeps returning. You are intelligent, adaptable, and capable of reasoning, so you use those strengths to rationalize patterns that were meant to wake you up. This section is where that cycle ends. You already know the signs. The same type of conflict showing up in different workplaces. The same financial strain repeating despite changes in income. The same emotional exhaustion resurfacing even after rest. The same inner warning rising before certain decisions, only to be ignored and later proven accurate. These are not random. They are signals asking for response, not analysis. One of the most dangerous habits is spiritual rationalization. It sounds mature, but it delays obedience. You tell yourself, this is just stress. Everyone deals with this. It will pass. I'll address it later. Meanwhile, The sign returns slightly louder, slightly heavier, slightly harder to ignore, not to punish you, but to reach you. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 1, whoever remains stiff-necked after many rebukes will suddenly be destroyed without remedy. This is not a threat meant to scare you. It is a warning meant to protect you. Suddenly does not mean instantly out of nowhere. It means after a long season of ignoring what was clear. Collapse rarely begins with chaos. It begins with dismissal. So let's bring this into daily life, practically. At work, the sign may look like repeated burnout no matter where you are employed. Different bosses, same outcome. That is not bad luck. That is your system telling you something about boundaries, alignment, or pace. Stop saying, "This is just how work is." Ask instead, why does my energy drain the same way every time? In finances, the sign may be that money comes in, but peace never follows. You fix one leak, another appears. That is not failure. That is an invitation to change how you relate to spending, security, or avoidance. Stop saying, "I'll deal with it when I earn more." Ask, what pattern am I repeating regardless of income? In relationships, the sign may be that you keep attracting people who need fixing, rescuing, or managing. Different faces, same dynamic. That is not love. That is familiarity disguised as connection. Stop saying, "They're just wounded." Ask, why am I comfortable abandoning myself to keep others? Here are concrete instructions you can practice this week. First, name the pattern without softening it. Write it down plainly. No spiritual language, no excuses, just facts. I overextend and resent it. I avoid numbers and feel anxious. I ignore my intuition and regret it. Clarity breaks denial. Second, trace the earliest memory of this pattern. Not to blame, but to understand. Where did you learn this behavior helped you survive? Patterns once protected you. Now they are costing you. That means it is time to update them. Third, interrupt the pattern once on purpose. Not forever, just once. Say no where you usually say yes. Pause where you usually rush. Speak where you usually stay silent. Patterns weaken when disrupted, even briefly. Fourth, remove the lie attached to the pattern. Every repeated sign is fueled by a belief. If I don't do this, I'll lose love. If I rest, I'll fall behind. If I speak up, I'll be rejected. Challenge the lie, not with emotion, but with evidence. Has obeying that belief actually brought peace? Fifth, invite accountability, not sympathy. Tell one trusted person exactly what pattern you are confronting. Not to vent, to be seen. Patterns thrive in secrecy, they shrink in light. Now let's talk about hope. Because this section is not about pressure, it is about release. When you stop rationalizing repeated signs, mental fog lifts, decision-making simplifies. You stop asking 10 people for opinions because you finally trust the clarity you already have. Energy returns, not because life is easier, but because you are no longer fighting yourself. Picture a normal day. You wake up and notice the familiar urge to overcommit, over-explain, or over-give, and you don't obey it. You choose differently. Nothing explodes. The world does not collapse. In fact, you feel steadier. That is what growth feels like in real life. Quiet, grounded, sustainable. Here is the direct question you must answer honestly. What keeps repeating in your life that you keep calling normal? Until you answer that, the sign will keep returning. Louder does not mean cruel. Louder means important. You are not being rushed. You are being invited to mature. Maturity is not knowing more, it is responding sooner. At the end of this section, I want you to comment a short phrase, no more than 4 words. I see the signs. This is not a ritual. It is a declaration. By writing it, you are acknowledging awareness instead of avoidance. You are signaling readiness, not perfection. And once you see clearly, you cannot pretend you didn't. Clarity always comes before change. Today, clarity has been offered. When you write, I see the signs. You are not claiming that everything is solved. You are admitting that awareness has begun. You are choosing honesty over comfort. This sentence means you stop pretending confusion is innocence. You recognize that repetition carries meaning, and that responsibility now shifts gently but firmly into your hands. I see the signs also means you accept that clarity comes before relief. It says you are willing to feel temporary discomfort rather than permanent stagnation. By acknowledging the signs, you allow wisdom to replace excuses. This is not pressure to act instantly, but permission to stop running from what you already understand. There is a subtle line you cross when delay stops being neutral, not sinful, not dramatic, just quietly expensive. You are standing at that line now. You feel it because the old justifications no longer calm you. What once felt like wisdom now feels like weight. You are not restless because you are ungrateful. You are restless because growth has reached a speed that waiting can no longer match. In real life, this moment rarely announces itself loudly. It shows up when you reread the same message for the 5th time, knowing exactly what truth it requires from you. It shows up when you stay in conversations that drain you, not because you believe in them, but because leaving feels inconvenient. It shows up when preparation becomes a hiding place. You tell yourself you are being careful, but deep down, you know you are stalling. This is not failure. This is readiness disguised as discomfort. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of John, chapter 5, verse 6. Do you want to get well? That question cuts deeper than it sounds. It separates desire from habit. Healing is not only about power, it is about permission. Some states persist not because they are stronger than you, but because they are familiar to you. Delay keeps things predictable. Alignment requires courage. Think about your work life. You know the meeting where you should speak but don't. You know the opportunity you are qualified for but keep postponing. You know the workload that should be renegotiated but hasn't been. Delay tells you you're being patient, but your body knows the truth. Your shoulders stay tense. Your sleep stays shallow. Your joy leaks slowly. Think about finances. You know what needs to be faced. The numbers are not mysterious anymore. Avoidance just feels easier than clarity. Delay whispers, later will be safer, but later keeps moving, and peace never arrives by accident. Think about relationships. You sense where honesty is overdue. You know where boundaries are blurred. You know where you are shrinking to keep things smooth. Delay pretends to protect harmony, but it actually trades truth for temporary quiet. Here is the hope you need to see clearly. Clarity does not demand perfection. It only asks for willingness. When you stop delaying, life does not suddenly become painless, but it becomes clean. Clean decisions, clean sleep, clean conscience. You stop replaying conversations that never happened. You stop explaining yourself to people who were never listening. Energy returns because you are no longer leaking it through indecision. Picture a very ordinary scene. Tomorrow morning, nothing magical changes. Same alarm, same responsibilities. But you choose one aligned action, one honest sentence, one boundary spoken gently, one step you've postponed. The world does not collapse. Instead, something inside you exhales. That is what healing often feels like, not fireworks, but relief. Delay keeps you busy. Alignment makes you peaceful. Now let me speak about connection. not as instruction, but as image. Sometimes a message like this is not a command, it is a mirror. And when a mirror shows you something true, the most natural response is acknowledgement. A quiet gesture, like leaving a small mark that says this mattered to me. Not for the world to see, but for you to recognize the moment you didn't scroll past yourself. And sometimes, as you walk forward, you notice others moving through the same fog you just stepped out of. You don't stop them. You don't lecture them. You simply leave a sign on the path, a stone turned upright, a light left on so they know someone has passed this way before. That is how wisdom traveled gently, person to person. As for staying connected, imagine this not as commitment to a voice, but as returning to a well. When thirst comes back, and it always does, you don't wander aimlessly. You go where you've already been nourished, not out of obligation, out of memory. Alignment remembers its sources. If this message felt like a lantern rather than a spotlight, something that didn't push you, but helped you see, then tend to that light. Choose to stay near what sharpens your clarity, what steadies your pace, what reminds you who you are becoming. Not because you were told to, because you recognize the value. Here's the question you must answer privately. Without drama, what would shift if you stopped delaying what you already understand? This section is not an ending. It is a hinge. On one side is familiarity. On the other is integrity. Neither path is cursed, but only one will let you rest without rehearsing explanations in your head. Some choices don't need applause. They only need to be made. When you choose integrity over delay, something subtle but powerful happens. You stop arguing with yourself. The inner noise softens. Even unfinished situations feel lighter because you are no longer divided inside. Alignment does not solve everything instantly, but it gives you back your center. Familiarity will always try to pull you backward with comfort and excuses. Integrity pulls you forward with quiet confidence. One path asks you to keep explaining why you stayed. The other asks you to simply live differently. Peace follows the second path more often than certainty ever does. Remember, this clarity is a gift, not a burden. Once it arrives, you are no longer lost, you are simply choosing. And every honest choice, no matter how small, trains your life to move toward truth instead of habit. There is a quieter danger than rebellion, and it is far more common. It is called drifting. You don't wake up one day and decide to abandon what matters. You simply postpone it often enough that distance forms without your permission. This section is not about dramatic failure. It is about slow erosion and how to stop it before it costs you what you cannot easily recover. Drift begins subtly. You still believe the right things. You still intend to act someday. But intention replaces obedience, and planning replaces movement. You tell yourself you are waiting for clarity, but deep down, you already know what needs to change. What you are actually waiting for is comfort to return before commitment is required. In everyday life, drift looks harmless. At work, you accept misalignment because it pays the bills and avoids conflict. You tell yourself you'll pivot later, when timing is better. In finances, you delay discipline because facing reality feels heavy. You promise yourself you'll get serious next season. In your inner life, you pray less. Not because you don't care, but because you're tired, and tiredness slowly dulls hunger. None of this feels like rebellion. That's why it's dangerous. The ancient words recorded in the letter to the Hebrews, chapter 2, verse 1. Still echo today. We must pay the most careful attention, therefore, to what we have heard, so that we do not drift away. Notice what the warning addresses. Not ignorance, not defiance, drift. You don't drift because you hate truth. You drift because you stop anchoring yourself to it. Anchors are not emotional, they are practical. An anchor might look like setting a firm boundary on your time, even when others are disappointed. An anchor might look like checking your finances weekly instead of avoiding them monthly. An anchor might look like returning to prayer when you don't feel inspired, not to feel something but to stay aligned. Drift happens when anchors are lifted one by one. Think about a very ordinary situation. You agree to something you don't have capacity for. You feel the tension immediately, but you override it. Later, resentment builds. You blame circumstances, but the truth is simpler. You ignored your inner warning. That is drift in real time. Here is the hope: drift is reversible the moment awareness returns. You do not need a dramatic turnaround. You need reorientation. Sailors don't curse the wind when they drift. They check their bearings. They adjust the sail. Small corrections prevent massive losses. Ask yourself this honestly: where have you stopped paying attention because attention felt inconvenient? Some of you stopped paying attention to your health. You normalized exhaustion. Some of you stopped paying attention to your values. You compromised slowly. Some of you stopped paying attention to your spirit. You fed everything else first. Drift thrives wherever attention fades. But listen carefully: conviction is not condemnation. The fact that you can feel this message means the anchor is still within reach. Imagine tomorrow morning. You wake up and instead of reacting immediately, you pause. You check in with yourself before checking your phone. You choose one aligned action instead of 10 distracted ones. That is how drift stops. Not with force, but with focus. There is also a promise hidden in this warning. If Scripture tells you to pay attention so you don't drift, it means staying aligned is possible. You are not too far gone. You are not late. You are simply being called back to attentiveness. Let's bring this into relationships. Drift can cause you to stay emotionally distant while physically present. You show up, but you are guarded. You listen, but you are half elsewhere. Attention restores intimacy. One honest conversation can realign months of distance. In purpose, drift makes you busy but unfulfilled. You produce, but you don't feel alive. Attention reconnects you to meaning. You remember why you started. You adjust your pace. You stop chasing validation and start honoring calling. Here is the direct question you need to answer without defensiveness. What anchor have you lifted that you need to reset? Not 5 things. 1. This section is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to narrow your focus. Attention is powerful because it is selective. When you choose where to look, you choose where you go. Now, at this moment, I want you to mark awareness not with noise, but with intention. Comment 21 below. This number is not random. It represents alignment restored through attention, choosing to stay awake instead of drifting. By commenting it, you are not performing. You are acknowledging that you refuse to let truth slip past you unnoticed. Drift happens quietly, so does return. And today, you are returning. When you write this number, you are choosing attention over autopilot. It signals that you are no longer willing to let days pass without direction. This number represents a decision to watch your inner compass closely and correct course before distance becomes damage. This number also stands for discipline returning gently, not through pressure, but through clarity. It means you accept that alignment is maintained daily, not emotionally. By marking this number, you affirm that small, consistent focus will guard your purpose better than dramatic promises ever could. Finally, this number reflects restoration through awareness. It is a reminder that drifting is not failure, but ignoring it is. By acknowledging the number, you are choosing to stay anchored, present, and awake, honoring what you've heard before. It slips quietly into the background again. There is a moment after awareness, after correction, after attention has been restored, when life grows quiet in a different way. Not empty, not numb, but settled. This is the season many misunderstand because it lacks drama. There are no loud breakthroughs, no visible rewards yet, just steadiness. This is where endurance is formed. You are here now. The urgency that once pushed you has softened. The pressure that once shouted has lowered its voice. And yet, the responsibility has not disappeared. This is the stage where consistency matters more than intensity, where faithfulness outweighs feeling, where what you do when no one is watching becomes the foundation for what will later be seen. In daily life, this season looks very ordinary. You go to work and do your job with integrity, even when praise is absent. You manage your finances quietly, resisting impulses that once controlled you. You show up for your family without announcing sacrifice. Nothing about this feels heroic, and yet, this is where strength deepens. Many people leave this season too early. They mistake quiet for stagnation. They assume that if something big isn't happening, nothing is happening. But Scripture consistently reveals the opposite. Roots grow in silence, muscles build under resistance, character forms when applause is gone. When, as the Apostle Paul wrote in the letter to the Galatians chapter 6, verse 9, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." Notice the phrase proper time, not rush time, not emotional time, proper time. Harvest is promised, but timing is protected. Weariness is addressed not because work is wrong, but because discouragement tempts you to stop too soon. This is especially relevant now. In your career, you may feel like you are doing the right things without seeing movement. Promotions stall, recognition delays, progress feels slower than expected. But steadiness is being observed, even when affirmation is absent. Consistency builds trust long before opportunity appears. In finances, discipline can feel unrewarding at first. You budget, save, restrain, and still feel tight. But financial peace rarely arrives dramatically. It accumulates quietly. One good decision layered upon another. Over time, anxiety loosens its grip. In relationships, growth can feel uneven. You communicate more clearly, set healthier boundaries, show up more honestly, and still encounter misunderstanding. That does not mean the effort is wasted. It means trust is recalibrating. Healthy dynamics take time to stabilize. This season asks a different question than earlier sections. Not will you change, but will you remain? Remaining is harder than starting. Starting is fueled by emotion. Remaining is sustained by conviction. There is also a subtle temptation here to compare. You look around and see others moving faster, celebrating visible wins, sharing highlights. Comparison whispers that you are behind, but you are not behind. You are being built differently. Depth always takes longer than appearance. Imagine a craftsman shaping stone. From the outside, it looks like nothing is changing. Dust falls. Repetition continues, but inside the stone, structure is forming. Weak points are being addressed. Cracks are prevented. When the piece is finally revealed, it stands longer than those rushed into form. This is what is happening to you. Let me ask you something. Gently, are you willing to value stability even when excitement fades? Because stability is what carries you when motivation dips. Stability is what keeps you anchored when circumstances fluctuate. Stability is what allows you to endure success later without collapsing under it. Hope in this season looks quiet but strong. It looks like waking up without dread. It looks like making decisions without panic. It looks like trust replacing urgency. You may not feel on fire, but you feel grounded. That is not loss. That is maturity. And here is something important to understand. God often prepares people in silence because noise distracts from refinement. When attention fades, motives surface. You learn why you do what you do. And when the harvest finally arrives, you will be able to hold it without being defined by it. This section is not asking you to push harder. It is inviting you to stay steady. If earlier seasons taught you to act, this one teaches you to remain. To keep choosing good when it feels ordinary. To keep honoring truth when shortcuts tempt you. To keep showing up when results lag behind effort. Do not despise this stage. It is protecting you. And when the proper time arrives, not because you forced it, but because you endured it, will be clear that nothing here was wasted. Endurance teaches you to trust process over pace. When results delay, you stop chasing validation and start honoring discipline. This shift rewires how you measure success, moving you away from urgency and into wisdom that lasts beyond seasons or applause. In this quiet stretch, identity stabilizes. You no longer define yourself by outcomes or opinions. You act from principle, not pressure. That inner steadiness becomes a refuge both for you and for others drawn to consistency in an unstable world. What grows slowly takes root deeply. The patience you practice now will support responsibilities you cannot yet see. This season is strengthening your capacity so future expansion does not fracture you under its weight. Remember, nothing consistent is wasted. Every steady step compounds. When the harvest arrives, it will not surprise you. It will simply confirm what faithfulness has been building all along. You have arrived at a quiet summit. Not the kind marked by noise or celebration, but the kind where the air feels clearer and your thoughts finally line up. This is not an ending meant to impress you. It is an ending meant to steady you. By now, you are no longer listening because something sounds dramatic. You are listening because something sounds true. You have walked through recognition, resistance, correction, attention, endurance. Each step stripped away a layer of confusion, not by force, but by honesty. You did not rush. You did not escape. You stayed. And because you stayed, you can now hear yourself again. This is what growth looks like when it matures. You do not feel the need to announce it. You simply live from it. In everyday life, this maturity shows up gently. You make decisions without rehearsing justifications. You rest without guilt. You say no without apology. You say yes without fear. You no longer confuse urgency with importance. You understand timing in a deeper way, not as delay, but as discernment. As the Apostle Paul wrote in the letter to the Romans, chapter 8, verse 14. For those who are led by the Spirit of God are the children of God. Notice the language. Led, not pressured, not chased. Led implies trust, relationship, willing movement. You are not being dragged into what comes next. You are being guided into it, step by step, at a pace that protects you. What lies ahead will not always be easier, but it will be cleaner. Choices will matter more now because clarity has increased. You will recognize misalignment faster. You will feel peace sooner when something fits and unrest sooner when it doesn't. This is not anxiety. This is discernment sharpening. Think about the coming days. You will encounter opportunities that look attractive but feel hollow. You will face invitations that flatter but distract. You will sense moments where silence is wiser than reaction. These are not tests designed to trap you. They are confirmations that you can now be trusted with weight. Hope at this stage is not loud optimism. It is grounded confidence. It looks like consistency. It looks like stability. It looks like joy that does not need an audience to exist. And now, let me speak one final time about connection not as instruction but as image. Sometimes a message passes through you and fades. Other times it lands and leaves a mark. If this journey felt like finding a mirror that reflected you honestly, the most natural response is to acknowledge that moment, to leave a small mark. A quiet signal that says this mattered, not for validation, for remembrance. As you continue walking, you will notice others nearby, people carrying similar questions, similar fatigue, similar hope. You are not meant to convince them or correct them. Sometimes the most generous act is simply to leave the path visible, like a lamp burning in a window at night. You may never know who finds their way because of it, but light does not require credit to be effective. And staying connected is not about attachment to a voice. It is about returning to a place where your inner hearing became clearer. When life grows noisy again, and it will, you will remember where you slowed down, where truth felt steady, where alignment felt possible. You will return not out of habit, but recognition. If these words served as a mirror, honor the reflection. If they served as a lamp, keep the light available. If they served as a path, let it remain visible. And if they served as a well, return when you thirst again. None of these are demands. They are choices, quiet ones, voluntary ones, chosen by people who understand the value of staying aligned. So here is the final question. Not meant to rush you, but to anchor you. Will you live from what you now understand? Or will you treat clarity like a moment that passed? Whatever you choose, choose it fully. Half choices create tension. Whole choices create peace. You are not pushed here. You are not manipulated here. You are led. You are allowed to move forward without rushing yourself. Growth does not demand spectacle. It only asks for honesty repeated daily. Each aligned choice you make quietly reinforces the foundation you now stand on. Even when no one else notices the shift taking place, there will be days when progress feels invisible. Do not misread that silence as stagnation. Stillness often means integration is happening beneath the surface. What you have learned is settling into habit. And habit is what sustains change long after emotion fades. If you ever feel tempted to doubt this journey, remember how far clarity has already carried you. Confusion once drained you. Awareness strengthened you. Discernment steadied you. These are not small gains. They are signs of inner authority forming. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where growth becomes sustainable. The pace you are learning now will protect you later, when responsibility increases and pressure returns. Wisdom learned slowly holds firm under weight. Carry this forward gently. Let your life reflect what you understand without needing to explain it. Alignment speaks for itself. And when you walk this way, peace follows, not because everything is easy, but because everything is honest. Before you close this moment, pause for just a breath, not to decide anything, not to promise anything, simply to notice what stayed with you. Every message leaves residue. Some parts slide past the mind, others settle quietly in the chest. What settles is usually what matters. This ending is not here to tell you what to do next. It is here to leave space. Space for reflection. Space for choice. Space for honesty. Because the most meaningful shifts never happen under pressure. They happen when something rings true. and you are given room to respond or not. If these words were useful to you, if they brought clarity, steadiness, or even gentle discomfort that felt meaningful, you are free to pass them on, not as an endorsement, not as a statement, simply as an offering. Like handing someone water without insisting they drink. Sharing can be an act of quiet generosity, nothing more. And if the message did not feel useful as a whole, that is also okay. Not everything is meant to be carried forward. In that case, keep only what touched you. One sentence, one image, one question that lingered longer than the rest. Let everything else fall away. You are not required to agree with all of it to benefit from part of it. Sometimes growth looks like action. Sometimes it looks like restraint. Sometimes it looks like silence after understanding. All of those are valid responses. There is no obligation here, no closing command, no final instruction disguised as encouragement, just an open door. You may walk through it. You may stand near it, or you may turn back carrying only what felt true to you. Whatever you choose, choose gently. The words end here. What continues is up to you.